If I may, Charles, I'd like to ask you, where would that authority be found, or where would that authority originate for the constables to enforce and have power over the state senate? I mean, the county board of supervisors. Where is that found, that authority and that power?
May I?
Paul, please go ahead.
Thank you, Charles. First thing you want to do is look at your criminal statutes, determine which statutes have been violated by the acts or the omissions of the Board of Electors, and then look and see if the statutes of the state or the Constitution, either one, recognizes the power of a citizen to perfect an arrest, a legal arrest. Now, if you find both of those, then any citizen, including a constable, will have the authority of contract law, Constitution, or in one of the codicils to it, which is a statute, to make the arrest regardless of what the Senate or the House of Representatives or the office of the governor does in the state of Arizona. Now, do you understand that concept?
Yeah, I do. If I may, I'd like to follow this through step by step and exhaust it to its finality. So let's say we do that. We find the citizens willing to arrest the Senate. And this is hypothetical. I am not planning a strategy, nor am I proposing a strategy. I'm asking these as questions. Hypothetical. We gather the people necessary to arrest in Maricopa County, the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah.
Let's say we have 20 men, and we start approaching. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. And we approach the Senate building, and we're about to make our arrest, and then the state patrol or the state police show up of Arizona, and we have a standoff, which is a very likely scenario to happen. And all the participants going into this know aforetime that it is likely to happen, that there would be, a confrontation with the de facto authorities, law enforcement authorities. This is a problem that we're going to have to overcome in getting anyone involved to do such a thing. And I find this to be virtually impossible to do this, given the circumstances of all the arrests taking place from the Washington incident. People are being arrested almost every day all over the country for just being present at that event. So now everybody is aware of this and all these arrests going on, and fear is starting to, soak into the American people about getting involved in any kind of serious action, even if it's lawful. So, let's take it to the next step. I'd love to hear comments. I yield.
Thank you, Michael.
I was going to respond to Michael a little bit. It's my grasp of the law from my studies and experiences in law enforcement that actually the coroner is the highest law enforcement officer in the county as opposed to the sheriff. Now, when you bring in a policy man, the police, that is, who is an administrative position appointed by somebody rather than an elected sheriff, there's definitely some equivocation about that. But the constable, in fact, they combined the constabulary here with the Metropolitan Police Sheriff's Office as one Sovietized unit. And the constable is supposed to be an office of the people, an elected office, as opposed to the usurped sheriff's office by the contractual terms of their employment and payment agreement and the subject to language thereof.
Why do you say the coroner has more power than a sheriff?
And it's just some of those little nuances that through my studies I've come through. The coroner may have oversight over the sheriff, especially when it comes to the determination of cause of death, and that might be where that superior arrestability comes from.
Let me share a little something with you here in Georgia, and you might want to check your Nevada statutes. Here in Georgia, there's a statute on the books that says only the coroner has the authority to to take a warrant for the arrest of a sheriff. Now, I'm not going to start arguing the constitutionality of that language. However, that language does not interfere with the right of a citizen to arrest an offender in his presence. So, in the state of Georgia, so what if the coroner is the only one who can seek an arrest warrant? A citizen can arrest a sheriff legally. That is still a right of a citizen of the state of Georgia. So I would ask you to go check your state's, the language, the verbiage used in your state statute and see if it might be similar to Georgia. Just because a statute says only the coroner can seek an arrest warrant for a sheriff does not mean the same thing as the coroner is the only person who can arrest a sheriff. That language is not synonymous.
Well, Paul, I certainly agree with your premise. The power of a citizen's arrest is fundamental to the American system of law, and that truly, whenever they hire these mercenaries that masquerade as public servants because of the sheriff assigning away his true authority to the county commissions, ours, and the city councils and other so-called entity directors, and working subject to their whims, as the case may be, does not negate the power of a citizen's arrest, because we all know that the police really have no more arrest powers than a Walmart security guard or a common citizen. And they're still culpable, liable, and suitable for their actions if they act outside scope, sphere, and color.